think that was in. I think we did it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did it. I'm going to go ahead and say we did. And if we didn't, whatever. But hello, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, Say Something Gay. Today, I'm feeling very Say Something Gay, because I have iced coffee. You can't see it, but I do have it. It felt like one of those days. It's cinnamon vanilla. It's a gorgeous time. And I love her very much. And she's keeping me very caffeinated for a very busy day of podcasting.
Well, hello, and hi, it's me, Lana. I'm back. It's been a minute since I've been here on 16, but I am here. And yeah, I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Per usual. You see what I did there? And if you have something, you know what to do. Hit me up. I actually went and grabbed something to drink since I came downstairs. So yeah, I was like, kiss this baby. Why not? Should be sponsored at this point, but
not. I'm like, there are like 3 or 4 things we really should be sponsored by at this point because we just keep talking about it.
Just keep talking about it. But if I was drinking anything, even though I'm not at my home, I'll still be drinking out of my cup mug because, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Wrong mug. But thank you all, besties. I love my new mug. But I
love that.
If you know anything about David, we talk incessantly about his organizational skills in regards specifically to Google Sheets and Excel. So I saw it we both saw it on like Instagram or something, and I was like, well, we have to.
Absolutely. Absolutely do it. And the crazy part is we ordered this way months ago. Like a
month and a half ago.
And then where I got it from, they decided that they don't sell it anymore. At the last minute, after like waiting for 3 weeks of waiting for it to get there, they were like, we don't sell it. And so I had to get my money back and then reorder it from someplace else closer. And that got here in a week. So I was like,
wow.
Should have did this one way earlier. So we've been planning this
Etsy shop in Spain.
Like stupid. Next,
Spain and Etsy and issues.
I mean, you can get your cup merch at LanaCreations.etsy.com. But yeah, internationally, it'll be some issues because US and Spain and you know the crazy part is the person who ordered the cup mug was from Spain.
Right.
Yeah,
and they couldn't get it. So yeah, but yeah, panel full of cup mugs, all that stuff. You can get yours, but if you live in the US, Mexico, Canada, for sure, you can get your cup merch at LanaCreations.com, Etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And we love you, David.
I love you all. But I don't have a cute intro. Oh, I'm David Healy. I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I decided to wear the Vivian. If you don't know who she is, what's wrong with you? And I'm just drinking some water.
What are you saying is wrong with Lana?
Oh. She knows. You don't know the Vivian?
Oh, you do?
I do know the Vivian.
Okay, good.
So nothing's wrong with me.
Okay, good.
Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me. Okay, sorry.
What about that? Referential.
I was singing heavy metal, though, at that point.
I know.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I was trying to be cute and make a reference. Anyway,
try to be cute.
We're here on a random episode 15 of Drag Race. Oh, that's new. But we are here. It is the penultimate episode of RuPaul's Drag Race season 16. And I have to say, right off the bat, I need them to keep this format moving forward in seasons because I loved this episode. Top to bottom.
I agree. I think this is a really good time to do like a Lipsync Lalaparuza / Smackdown. This way, we don't have it just randomly like injected into the season as a challenge.
Yeah.
And we don't have to have a lip sync for the crown in the finale because we just got our fix the week before. So I really hope they keep this, at least until we get tired of it, which we probably will.
But to be fair, I am happy we got it as a challenge last season because it did give one of my favorite lip syncs of the season. And we wouldn't have gotten that. It's several, definitely several, but we wouldn't have had Sasha versus Anitra. So I'm happy they tested it as a challenge last season, but I loved it as a separate entity in this episode, which I'm very, very excited for us to talk about. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag, except season 16 is almost over, and then for like the foreseeable future, all we'll be covering is Solo Las Mas, and then we might actually have a week off. There will still be drag content coming to the channel. It will not be current drag content, but we're working on some things. Fans of Drag Race franchises in Asia, we're looking at you. That's all I'll say on the matter right now. But we've got 3 other channels as well with almost all things reality TV, Eurovision Song Contest, and wrestling recap. So make sure to go check all of those out as well. Those are down in the description below. And if you want to become a member of our channel and join the Tea Room for exclusive content and early access to a lot of our fabulous content, including our upcoming drag content, hit the join button here on this video or on the main channel, or head over to Patreon. Same content, different platform. That link is down in the description below as well. So we come back in. We know that it's a lip-sync Lalaparuza. The girls apparently don't know that it's a lip-sync Lalaparuza. And everyone walks into the workroom, and it's lovely and wonderful. Q's still pissed. Hershii doesn't know anything that happened. And we were talking about it before we came on, because I was under the impression that this was filmed in the same filming bubble that they filmed the rest of the season in. I don't know if that's the case based on things we've allegedly heard from Twitter, but...
And based on our eyes...
Well, okay, that too.
Plain Jane's hair was so different.
So different.
That was the smoking gun.
Different.
Wow.
I mean, because even when they went back into the confessionals, it was kind of like, oh, well,
they were all wearing the same things, but some people looked a little different.
a little different.
Dawn's makeup has done a complete transformation. We'll get into it when we talk about the looks, but I really like
Dawn
the
and
direction
Amanda.
she's going.
Yeah. Dawn just did a makeup tutorial on her channel as well.
Okay.
And I watched it, and it was very entertaining. But yes, everyone's here. RuPaul walks in. We find out that it is a lip-sync Lalaparuza between all of the eliminated queens. And they have to get into lip-sync Lalaparuza drag. Cool. Lovely. There's a little bit of workroom stuff. Honestly, it's mostly them talking to Hershii, where I was like, I was so happy. There was a lot of girls that I was like, oh, I'm so happy to see you again. One of them being Hershii, for sure. I was excited to see Amanda. I was excited to see Mirage. A lot of the early out girls. I was like, oh, yay. But it's pretty dominated by Hershii talking about, being first out and expecting more out of herself. Mhi'ya's excited for a lip-sync Lalaparuza. Morphine's excited for a lip-sync Lalaparuza. All the girls that Mhi'ya sent home are excited to potentially get a rematch against Mhi'ya. Foreshadowing much? Little bit. A couple of them got their chance.
True.
But...
I'm curious if you all, going into this episode, you all had certain people that you're like, I really hope they kill it. I hope they bring it. Because I had a few. I had a few that I was really rooting for.
Who were you rooting for, David?
So of the eliminated queens, I've made it pretty clear. My favorite person, and I know it's a hot take, is Q. So I'm like, please, Q, really change people's minds. Show us that you are a good lip syncer. So I was really hopeful for her. And of course, Mhi'ya and Morphine, they're 2 people that I'm like, you all have been so reliable. So I want to see that fight continue. I want to see surprises. And then probably the 4th one for me was Hershii, because I felt like she left so early in the competition. And I've seen her lip sync live, and I thought she was great. So I really wanted her to kind of prove people wrong and just kind of kill it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Lana, what about you?
I was here for I wanted to see the fight between Mhi'ya and Morphine. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That would be interesting, you know, to see them go back at it and have another chance to do it. Hershii, of course, because I know I loved Hershii from the get-go.
We all love Hershii from the get-go.
And I wanted to see more of Hershii, and so I was like, I hope she gets a chance to come out and show what she could do, and people will respect that, and you know, and just see Hershii for who she is, because she was gone so soon, and I would love to see that. But I really wanted to see Mirage get a chance to redeem herself. That was my other person. I was like, because I understand, I do think she's overhyped sometimes by a lot of people. I do believe that. It's not, but I believe that she is good at lip syncing. She can lip sync if she knows the words. I wanted her to have that moment on that stage to be able to say, yes, I can do this. I just messed up that last time. And it's not her fault that people overhype her or hype her up a lot. She just got some really passionate fans, and that's a great thing. I believe that just shows her character, and I think that's a great thing for her. But I think I just wanted to see her go through the lip sync, redeem herself, and so that I can perform, because she is a good performer. And unlike what you said, David, I liked her song. We talked about this off camera. I really did like her song, and I do remember her song. I don't think she's overhyped because of anything she did. I just think she has very passionate fans who just really, really like her and want to hype her up. And so I'm like, cool, I like that. But those are the people I was looking forward to actually want to see what they were going to do. And I wanted it to get down. My perfect final two would have been Morphine and Mhi'ya, just to have that one last whoever get it, winner take all type of moment. And I was getting so hyped throughout the thing, like, oh, it's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen. Son of a...
Well, it sounds like it sounds like we might get that at DragCon this year.
Ooh. Oh, I love that.
Because I don't know. Have either of you watched the Hey Queen interviews with Johnny McGovern?
No, I don't watch any interviews.
So when Mhi'ya did her exit interview with Johnny, she basically was like, all right, Morphine, let's throw down sometime. I don't think they exactly said when, but I feel like DragCon would be the right place to do it. A, because all the fans will be there. B, because they both will be there. And it's kind of the only scheduled thing, I think, already that both of them will be at in the next couple of months. But Mhi'ya was like, let's throw down. I'll throw $5,000 in.
Oh.
And we'll do a rematch. When Morphine did her interview, she was like, all right, sister, I'll double that, 10,000 each.
Ooh.
So there is the potential for a $20,000 rematch between Morphine and Mhi'ya.
That would be cute.
I would love to see it, because I will definitely agree. Morphine and Mhi'ya were the two that, coming into this, I was like, okay, they'll probably make it very, very far unless they're against each other in an early round. I agree with you, Lana, for sure. Mirage was someone that I wanted to get the redemption simply because it was on the show. Like, I've seen a lot of Mirage perform afterwards. I'm hoping to get to see her when she comes to Phoenix again in a couple of months. But on the topic of the overhyping of Mirage, I want to say, honestly, for me, it feels like the same thing that happened with Let Loose last season with Lucy. And I feel like the only difference between those two things is that Lucy did better in the competition than Mirage did. But I honestly think it's the same effect. And I don't think it's overhyping. I think it's the fact that she had a very well-produced song that a lot of people gravitated towards. Because I think that same thing could have happened to Hershii. It could have happened to Amanda. Because those are the other two songs from talent shows this season that I remember distinctly. But I think Mirage is an incredible performer, as we saw in this episode. I wanted to see most of the early out queens do very, very well in this, just because they didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to get to show that on the season. So
Amanda was another one mainly for me.
Amanda was another one that I was like, I hope, because I liked Amanda in her lip sync that she did. And on that same note, I wanted to see Megami do very well as well, because both of them clearly are very good performers that only really got one lip sync for their life to show what they could do. And for me, they both showed that they could do very, very well in their lip syncs. So I was hoping we would get to see both of them do very well. And spoiler, we did. So
I'll go ahead and put this out here. Going into the episode, sitting there, there were two people I was actively rooting against.
How dare you, David?
And that was Megami and Mirage. I was hoping to see them fail. So
well, Julie, they didn't. So
well, we don't have to say that. No, I mean, I get it. I don't think I was rooting against anybody, but I wasn't actively rooting for Megami. Like that was, I wasn't like, I want to see her fall. It was just like when she came up, I was like, oh, good on you, girl. You know, I wasn't particularly rooting against her. I was just like, eh. So, it's just nah. I was just like, not really like, yeah, girl, I'm rooting for you, but she did great, and I was like, not rooting against her, but just not.
You were indifferent.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's really what it is. It's but
yes. Let's talk about the looks really quick. Cool. Party. I want to start with our judges, because I love that everyone kind of got the gold memo. Rue and Maddie more than Michelle, but I did love what Michelle was wearing. Michelle felt like she was in Lipsync Lalaparuza drag, and I was like, okay, work, Michelle. I'm not mad at this.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. It's very Michelle. I was like, Rue in these little short dresses. She is in her short season, baby.
She's in her Scoochie Woochie dress era. And honestly, I'm not mad.
I'm not mad. I was like, baby, you about to pop out of this again. Every time we get a short look from Rue, it's like, oh, it's shorter, baby. We see some things, but it's good. It's good. I like it though. I really do. I like the fabric of that gold. And I like the contrast of the darker gold that's on the flower part of it. I like it. And I like all the looks. I think everybody looks great.
I think this is one of my favorite RuPaul looks of the season. I just really like this material and just like how it shined in the lights. I thought it was perfect. Like, it was very short. But I wasn't bothered by that. I think the other two look really
the whole
good
time
too.
anyway. So like,
she was wearing her sweatpants and that.
Right, literally.
And this set, it goes so good with the set. Like this set.
Honest to God, please can we make this the actual Drag Race set? Like, because this is the set that they used for Secret Celebrity Drag Race last season. I love this set. I think it would be so conducive for, you know what it feels like also? Now that we have a bit more experience with Lamas, it feels like a Lamas Drag Race set. A little bit. In the fact that there's just a lot more room to move and operate and perform in. So frankly, honestly, I'd like to see it. I think it would be a great upgrade for the show. Because I like the runway we've had for 16 seasons now. It's a lovely runway. But I would like to see some improvement and some evolution in the show. And I think one of those things that can provide just bigger budget, this looks more professional than the main stage that we've had. So, and I love where the judging panel is too. I love that there is the space for the audience if we want an audience for challenges. Like, it just feels a bit more conducive for better performances on Drag Race.
And it leaves room for them to make a longer runway, because all that audience space from that to the judges, you can always just extend the runway
Exactly.
Just take off the runway when you don't need it. So
exactly.
I feel like it would be a conducive to do that. But
yeah,
I
don't know if anyone else caught this. This dress on Ru feels very Miss Fiercelicious coded. Like it's very prolapse dress, but in gold.
Just change some colors around.
Exactly.
Red, blue.
Red, blue for gold and gold. But I was like, that's the vibe I was getting, especially in the close-ups when we see Ru behind the judging panel. I was like, it's very Fiercelicious coded. And I'm not mad at that, but category is Lipsync Lalaparuza Drag. I don't think we're going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the eliminated queen looks. We are talking about all 14 queens because our top 3 did also present looks. And honestly, those are the ones I'm more excited to talk about. I'm going to be 100% honest with you all. But we're going to talk about everyone real quick, give our scores, do lovely, fabulous, and wonderful things. And we're going to go in order of elimination, which means we're starting with gone but not forgotten icon, Hershii Licqour-Jete. And I have the banner still. Sorry, David.
You're fine. And I have to judge these based on what they are. They're supposed to be looks that they can perform in and maybe do some reveals in. So I do think this is a good look on her. I think it's probably better than some of the looks she actually displayed on the show. It just looks very slick. Her hair looks really good. It looks very draggy. I think her makeup has improved since her time on the show. The only thing that's like a minor critique, and I'm pretty mixed on it. So her shoulders, she's got like pretty pronounced like shoulder pads here. And there were times where she kind of looked like she didn't have a neck while she was performing. Yeah. And it's because of how big those shoulders were. But I still think it looks cool. It just didn't always work in her favor when performing.
I can see that. I like the look. I think the look is good for what she was there to do. She was going to give a performance, and this is a good performance. If you saw any local queen coming out in this outfit and doing this, you'd be like, "Yes, work, queen, do your thing," because you about to show out. So I'm here for her getting ready, like coming in, like I'm about to show out. I'm about to do my thing, and I like it, and I agree. Her makeup has improved in thus far, and I think she looked great. I liked it. I do agree with the jacket. I thought the jacket was gonna come off at some point. I was hoping it'd come off, but it's still a good look.
She was saving that for lip sync too.
That's what I'm thinking it was, because it felt interesting, because a lot of the girls obviously had reveals, and it felt very interesting to me the manner in which people revealed. I'm 99% sure I've seen a video on Hershii's Instagram of her performing in this bodysuit, actually, which I love. It's not a knock against it for me at all.
Absolutely, because I'm like, honestly, why are we spending thousands and thousands of dollars when I got this stuff in my closet?
Right. Exactly.
It's in my closet. I'm gonna pull this out and I'm gonna perform in it, because number one, I know what it feels like to perform in it, so I know how I can perform, and I know I can do a lot more stuff, and nothing go fall out, nothing go get crazy. You know, it's not gonna be uncomfortable. I ain't gonna feel all chafed. And number two, if I'm comfortable in the outfit I'm wearing, I'm comfortable in the performance that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense. And then three, she was already eliminated from the goddamn show. Why? I ain't buying nothing new to come back to on a show that I already got eliminated. Baby, you getting something right from my closet straight, and you gonna see me perform in it time after time after time again. And I'm gonna do it. And what about it? You ain't in my pockets. You ain't giving me no money to get new outfits. So nope.
But book Hershii.
Period.
Book her in your city, please. Give her coin. Thank you.
I would love to see Hershii come down to Alabama, but you know, we don't even get. I don't even know if we even get good drag artists coming to our.
I have seen some girls at certain times be like, "Oh, I'm coming to Alabama somewhere." It's usually Birmingham. If they get them, but it's usually the girls that live in the South. It's the girls from Atlanta that are like, "Oh, I can pop over to Alabama real quick because it's right there."
Yeah, so look, if you do some research and you find some people who come to my city, let me know, because I don't see them. We get no publicity. We had a whole Ru drag show here, and we got no publicity.
Oh, damn.
So I have no idea what stuff is happening. So let me know. Anyway, off to me. Back to Hershii.
The only issue I had with this look, and it's not even an issue stationary, was the wig. I like the wig on her. Unfortunately, the wig while she was performing got a little bit in her face at certain moments. So that's really the only thing I had against this. Otherwise, I think she looks gorgeous. Scars.
I gave her 71.
I gave her 78, actually.
I'm going to give her a 76. Mirage.
Her butt is too much.
Mirage.
That padding is way too much.
I don't think she's padded.
Oh, I thought it was padded.
Oh, no, she's padded. I can see it.
It's a slight pad, if anything.
Okay.
No, her butt that's not real. That's not a real butt. That is some padding in that butt because, baby,
Did she get a BBL too?
That if she did, she need to go back because it's botched because it looks too.
Ooh, not the botched BBL.
It is. It's more like a triangle shape than a.
No, it's padded. It's absolutely padding.
Absolutely.
Well, I thought Mirage looked cute. Like, this is like quintessential good performance outfit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like something that's going to leave a lasting impression. But I think she does know her colors. She really likes to lean into the blues, like the bright blues, and like contrast it with her hair and skin. And she does that. Like, she does it perfectly with her makeup. And her, like, I really feel like she has more of a signature look than I even realized at the start of this competition. So she does look really good. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be in the middle for me for most of these looks, but she still looks good.
Yeah, I like the color pattern. I love the purples, the blues. Looks good. Everything looks good. Like, still say her butt is way too much. It's too much. But I wasn't mad at this outfit. I wasn't mad at her look. I wasn't mad at her performance. So there we have it.
I was doing research for Lana on gay bars in her city. So on the topic of Mirage, my dearest Mirage, I really liked this. I actually think this might be at the higher end for me. Just because I think this really, I agree with you completely, David. There's a very clear aesthetic with what Mirage presents herself as. And we saw that throughout her time on the show, and we're really seeing it here. I thought the hair was great. The makeup was fantastic. I loved the reveal that we had. I thought overall this was a lovely performance look from Mirage. Skies.
73.
$80.
For the category of Lipsync Lalaparuza drag. Let me make this clear. For the category, 80. It's time, everyone, for a mandatory meeting.
Leave her alone, Plain. She looked good.
Plain.
Right, shut up.
Yeah. I like this. I think this looks like she spent some money on it. It's very bejeweled. It's good color. It's a perfect performance look. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot because I mean they caught the memo. They knew what they had to do here. And you definitely see some improvement in her makeup. I'm waiting for her to really find wigs that suit her a little bit better than the wigs that she does wear.
Yeah.
And I know that she's talked about like not always having pinned them down the best way. So maybe that's part of the issue here. But you definitely see growth. I'm ready for more growth.
Yeah. There's only one way to go from here. Our mandatory meeting is up. I think you can only improve. You can only get better. We see the growth in the makeup. We see it. It is great. It's good. Continue to get better. And then we can start working on the wigs because this wig is a tragedy. But I know you got it. It's just it comes with time. It comes with trial and error. And we show much grace because you're a classy lady, and we appreciate you here, Miss Mandatory Meeting. I was very happy to have you on my draft, and I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything. I don't regret anybody I picked because all of you are great. Hershii, I don't regret a single thing. Amanda, I don't regret a single thing. And Mhi'ya, I don't regret a single thing because I loved you. I thought you were amazing. And I think this outfit is great. I love this purple. Y'all know I'm a fan of this purple. And I think she aged. She aged. So I'm not mad at you. We'll fix the wigs. We'll work on it. Don't worry about it.
I am hopeful that we'll get to see a finale look next week from Mrs. A Mandatory Meeting. But at this current moment in time, this is my favorite thing she wore this season on Drag Race. I really enjoy this. I agree on the hair. I will say this is my favorite hair she wore. Because I can see the evolution of her aesthetic, obviously paralleling that with her development as a human and in her transition. I think as she gets more secure in her transition and gets further in that process, I think we're going to see an evolution in her drag. And I think someone that we saw a lot of that with as well when she was on the show, and then we saw her come back a few years ago, was Kylie Sonique Love. I really see Amanda having a Kylie sort of development in her drag and really evolving her drag into this like beautiful woman showgirl sort of situation. That's what I see for Amanda. I hope regardless of what she ends up doing with her aesthetic, I adore her. She's going to be one of my absolute favorites from this season. I love me some purple also. I love this look. I think she looks incredible. Guys.
75.
79.
77. Geneva Karr. I was so happy to see Geneva back on my screen too. I was like, oh, yay, Geneva.
Yeah, she looks so like draggy. And I love that. I love that. Like it feels like, okay, you showed up to the pageant. You got your pageant wig with you.
If you did not know where this woman was from and you saw this, Texas, immediately,
Absolutely.
there would be no other place she could be from.
Yep. I will say I did not love this look pre-reveal. I mean, I like I can't lie. I don't like tinselly looks too much. So yeah, I think that was my issue, just kind of the material of the jacket. So look, I didn't mind that she got rid of it quickly because I think she looks much better once that was taken off. That's a really nice bodysuit in the bottom part. And I really love those, like, I don't even know if you call them gloves because they're still part of the outfit, but I love the fabric on her arms, how shiny it was. Yes, those were some beautiful sleeves. So it's a kind of a tale of two stories here with the looks. So I'm going to have to find a score that meets in the middle.
I mean, I don't mind the tinselly look, so that wasn't an issue for me. I like the jacket. I thought it was cute. I do think she got rid of it too quickly, but it wasn't. We'll talk about it, but I liked it. I really like the outfit underneath it better. And I think the overlay of the sleeves thing is what I like the most about this outfit because I was like, it added something to a beautiful bodysuit and then the fringy skirt and then adding that overlay as the sparkly sleeve thing was so cute. I think that was just it just added something to the look. And so I think she looked great. And then this hair. This is some good old Texas hair. This is some good old, everything is bigger in Texas. The higher the hair, the closer to God. You know, it was everything to that. And I love the streaks in it. Make it look like it's parts, but it's streaks. It's just good. It's a good look. And she looked gorgeous. She looked very happy and very bronzed and very tanned and very blonde. I love it.
I love the wig. I love the mug. I love the bodysuit underneath. I'm going to lean a little bit more towards David's opinion on the tinsel coat. I don't mind it. I don't love it though. But because I didn't get the correlation between the tinsel coat and the bodysuit underneath. I wish there was a bit more correlation between those. But overall, Geneva looks good. And I was happy to see her again. So, scores.
73.
82.
73. Megami.
Megami had a great night. I'll just get that out of the way. This was not one of my favorite looks by any means. And that's okay. That's okay because she wore something that she could definitely perform in. I don't think it was necessarily flattering to her at all times. And the wig, I wasn't even crazy about. It kind of reminded me, it took me a while to realize it, but then once I noticed it, I was like, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. It kind of gave me Juicebox, her wig in episode 1 of Canada's Drag Race that she wore on the runway. It's very similar to that. Although it's braided, so she's got that on Juicebox, I guess. So I don't. This probably was my least favorite look, but that really wasn't how I was judging this episode, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think the look itself is not my favorite look. But I was like, knowing Megami is some kind of character, maybe, and I just don't know who the character is, but it was some character, and she was giving us a cosplay moment. And just because I don't know who the character is doesn't mean it's not a accurate replica or it's not good. I just didn't like it on her. And it has nothing to do with the weight. It just didn't fit how I would want it to fit on her. It was, I agree with David. It was very unflattering in certain parts, in certain aspects. And as a big girl myself, you just have to know what flatters you and what looks good. And like Geneva put that bodysuit on and then she put that flap thing right across the thing. So it's like it hides that flattery of the stomach, but it also makes her keep her shape. And this just gave Megami a very round shape, and it wasn't very flattering. But and then the wig for me, it's just that's an everyday wig. That's the wig you put on and run to the stove. Like, I need to go to the stove and put this wig and put it on and go. It's not a
shake and go.
Right. It's very much a let me just grab it.
That's my Trader Joe's wig.
Right. It's just put it on and go. Like, this is my everyday wig, baby. You just put it on and you go. It's not anything that I'll put on to when I'm trying to impress people. It's just let's go. That's what that gave me. And I was like, I don't really care for it. But the look itself, it's meh.
This was one of the things that made me think maybe this was filmed like in the same filming cycle as everything else, because it seemed like she had lost a little bit of weight. And because we've heard a lot of girls talk about that being on Drag Race. And my big issue with it was the fit. I absolutely agree with that. So if this was filmed months later and she pulled this out to wear this, like, that was really my only big critique about it, was that it didn't fit. I actually really like the structure of the bodysuit itself. I think it's a very flattering sort of silhouette for a bigger girl. Unfortunately, the fit issue was just a little bit off there, but I love the yellow, the straps that she has going on with the blue. Yeah, I love this juice box wig. I just wanted this juice box wig to be a bit bigger, and I wanted like a Ariana Grande ponytail. Basically.
That's what I wanted. I wanted the long wig.
It wasn't a bad wig, but I do agree it's more of it like an everyday wig. I didn't mind it overall, and obviously she did very well in this whole thing. So, scores
63.
Yeah, 60. I'll one up David, 64.
I'll give her a 69.
Nice.
Thank you. Xunami Muse. Bloomers not shown.
Look, thank goodness we have two pictures here giving two slightly different angles of her face.
Yes.
So I can get a full idea of how I'm going to take in this.
Thank you, Drag Zone.
Yeah, and that's not your fault at all, Logan. This is the same picture with like a slightly different face.
Here, and then she was here.
When I tell you this is the only site on Instagram that had any photos of the looks from this, because there's a couple of them that only showed the top 3.
Yep. This is her 9/10 doing the Marina, and then 10/10ths doing the
Right.
Marina.
And then,
Okay, so my coworker that was watching with me, he was like, "What is this Raggedy Ann look that she has going on?" And then later on during the lip sync, when Xunami, it was like, "What are they doing? Like flailing on the floor like Raggedy Ann dolls?"
He's like,
He was like, "What? You're the Raggedy Ann."
literally watching with my friends. One of them was like, "But bitch, you're the one that looks like Raggedy Ann, so why are you talking?"
She does. But with that said, I think she looks like a very good Raggedy Ann. Like, I really like this wig, and I really like this outfit too. I think that like this is starting to give me like an idea of who she might be, because there's been a few times where we've gotten these like really like feminine drag, but almost like more neutral, like a little bit on the more masculine presenting. And I think it's a like an area that is kind of underrepresented on Drag Race. So if she keeps doing looks like this, I think she's really going to find her own spot and like a signature style. So I thought it was very pretty. Honestly, probably one of my favorite looks that we've seen so far. I don't know if that's going to be a hot take, but I thought she looked good.
I mean, I like the wig, but that's pretty much it for me. I'm not
Mm.
I'm not as much of a fan as David is about this look. Because when she walked in, I was like, not the bloomers. Oh my god, she wearing bloomers. And then they capped up at the knee, at the ankle, like she capped the bloomers at the ankle. I was like, oh no.
Oh.
I was like, not a fan of that because I hate those type of pants anyway. So in any style on anybody, don't be putting these big old baggy parts and they cup it at the knee, at the ankles. That's so to me. But yeah, I was like, Xunami girl, that's not what I would. It was so not what I was expecting. It was so far beyond what I was expecting. So I was like, but I love the wig. Like I would wear that wig, and like she got it slicked back and making it look like it's just coming right from her scalp. Like it's such a good wig, and she did it so well. And her mug is always beautiful. She's beautiful. We go give it to her.
Oh, she's
beautiful, gorgeous. She's beautiful, always. But this outfit didn't do it for me.
This was bad. This was bad.
Okay.
Wig and mug. Perfection in every possible way. Everything else, chop. I hated this garment. And I love that you got a better idea of the kind of drag that Xunami does, David. Because this, for me, I was like, the fuck?
I was confused.
This confused me the most out of anybody's looks.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
I was just like, the girl.
I was very much confused.
Scores.
77.
60.
Ooh.
50. And that 50 is exclusively for the wig and the mug. Which is about half the look, so that tracks. Plasma.
Did we need that second picture?
Again, I didn't pull that.
I know.
Okay.
I thought she looked so cute when she came out. I really like this wig that she has on in the top photo. And I thought the outfit looked cute too. It really, I don't know. I was looking at her boobs and I just was kind of getting hypnotized for some reason. I can't explain it. The little spirals. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought she looked cute. Like this was just a cute look to perform in. Like there's not much to say other than that. I mean, it was adequate for the job that she had.
This is an adequate bodysuit made of materials that is on her body.
Yeah, it was. I liked when she first came out with the wig, the pink wig, and that I thought the bodysuit was cute. I thought this was a good look for a lip sync performance, and I thought she looked cute, and she did well.
Yeah, This was definitely higher end for me as far as all the looks are concerned. The only thing I don't like is this wig that she revealed to. This B. Arthur but flat wig. I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam.
Not B. Arthur.
B. Arthur would never.
But like, you see it, right? You see it, right? Oh, God.
This looks a little bit more like Sophia to me.
Oh, I can't stop laughing.
Oh, no. This is Sophia.
Yeah.
The fact that it's Golden Girl references.
Hey, that tracks for Plasma. So.
How dare you call this Dorothy? This is Sophia.
You know, and in the top, she's giving Ariana Grande with a little flip. So, you know, yeah, this was actually I thought she looked gorgeous in this. I love this bodysuit. I love this first wig. The second wig brings it down for me. Guys.
70.
73.
79. Mhi'ya, Iman, LePaige.
That sure was a lot of fabric. A lot of fabric.
And not a whole lot of payoff.
It was a very pretty crimson, but it was not enough for me to be like, oh, wow, what a good look. I think she's one of the few that I almost saw a regression in makeup. Like, she looked better with her makeup in the first several episodes, I would say, than this. I do think it looked quite a bit better once she did take off all the fabric, but it still was just a performance look. So not the most exciting thing we saw in this episode, but you know, I didn't come here to see what she was going to wear.
Oh, it's me.
It sure is, my dear.
I got distracted. It was a red dress, and then she took it off, and it was a red bodysuit.
Okay. I really love the bodysuit underneath. I think that looked so good on her. It fit her so well. I love the thigh-high boot. I love this hair on her. Baby, this jacket, dress, whatever it is, no. It was ill-fitting somehow, and yet also, like you said, David, a lot of fabric. For what reason? She walked out and I was like, what the hell is Mhi'ya wearing? Like, huh? Confusion. Scores.
68.
70.
73, I think. Sure, we'll go with that. Dawn. It's Dawn.
Can I know I already alluded to it earlier. I freaking love her mug in this episode. Her makeup.
To be honest.
Yeah, it was just so much better. Like I still liked her makeup throughout the show, but there was something about it that I was like, this is not quite right. I think it's how rounded she always did her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And here she's got them more angular, and I think it looks so much better. And you could tell.
I think it's also because she only had 2 hours to do her face.
Oh.
I honestly think that's why she did it this way.
Maybe. But even she added like so many details, like all the little dots I really liked. And I love this wig on her. Like this is probably her best wig that she wore. Like this looks like a woman's hair. Like this has to be a human hair wig. As far as the outfit goes, I kind of like it. I just kind of wish it was a little bit more cohesive because like the black and white, sure, but why is there blue fabric on it? I don't know. It didn't quite go well together. I like the boots. Overall, I thought she looked good. There's something that could have been better, and I don't know what it is, but it could have been better.
The outfit is fine. The blue is weird. The hair, I love. Makeup, I love. I love Dawn. I think but Dawn is in her own POV. I love what Dawn brings. But I agree her makeup is stunning in this. I don't know. I guess you put the blue in to give it more Dawn-esque, vibes. But it didn't need. But it didn't need to be there. But it wasn't so distracting where it took away the performance. So I'm not mad at it.
I absolutely agree with that, Lana. I think she added it to give it a bit more Dawn. Because honestly, if you look at that bodysuit with the glove and the thigh high, like that doesn't feel very Dawn. But adding these like random bits of fabric, I think added a little bit to it. I wasn't mad at this. I wasn't upset at this. I didn't love this. Hair and mug though, gorgeous. I love when she does this softer makeup. I still think it's because she only had a couple of hours to prep to get ready for this. So I think that might have had something to do with it. Overall, she looks great. Scars.
76.
83.
81. Morphine love Dion.
Another drag wig. And I like both wigs. I think they both are like very different styles of wig, but they both serve the purpose that she was trying to get across. She's another one that was just kind of hiding a bodysuit underneath with like not as much fabric obviously as Mhi'ya, but it was like, okay, you've got a black coat and it's obviously coming off at some point. And do I love it when it's so obvious that a reveal is coming? No, like I want you to incorporate that in a more clever way. And then underneath it, it was a fine bodysuit. There's really not much to say there. But her face looks great and the hair looks great.
Yeah. I mean, her mug is always good. She definitely knows what she's doing with her face. I love the wig. I like the coat. I think I like her coat better than I like anybody else's coat that came off in the reveal. I liked hers better. The bodysuit is cute. It's alright. There's nothing special. Like I think it's well placed black fringe, but the nude illusion, I'm gonna have to take David's thing. The nude illusion bothered me so much because it's not really matchy, so I can tell where it starts and stops. But I did like both wigs. I like the wig reveal, even though when she was about to do the wig reveal, we saw the red popping out. I was like, "Oh, it's about to be a wig reveal," and sure enough, it was a wig reveal. But other than that, I thought it was good.
So of the eliminated queens, this was actually my favorite ensemble. I don't know. There was just something I really, really loved about the first look with this kind of like coat wrap dress situation. I thought it fit her so well. I love the shoulder pad we have here. I love this big teased out blonde pageant wig. That felt very different from Morphine, but I really, really did enjoy it. During the performance, I was like, I was like, oh, there's something underneath here. Overall, very good.
Okay. Scores.
I gave her 67.
I gave her I liked it more, but I liked it a little less. But I liked it more. So I'm going to give her an 84.
I also gave her an 84.
Work.
Next up, Q.
Q. I love Q. I love Q. I don't love this look from Q. It's extremely busy. I'm not sure what she was going for here. I think she really must have had a lot of reveals planned out, and we only got to see one. But I think there must have been like a whole evolutionary status prepared for this look, because I don't really like what we got from it. The colors are fine. I don't know, like, why all the puffy stuff in this wig? I don't really like, but I'm not a big fan of like straight bangs like that. I also think she's another one who you could tell her makeup was different, but for me, it was not in a better way. There was something about her makeup that wasn't quite right in this episode. So I don't know. This was very disappointing for me to have her, whom I've loved her looks throughout the season, and I thought she was absolutely one of the worst.
Yeah, I didn't like this at all. From head to toe, I did not like this look at all. I'm trying to look for redeeming qualities. I don't have any. No, I don't like it.
The only part of this I liked was the wig. I actually did like the wig with the bang and the wavy ponytail coming out. That's it. Ew. It looks like 4 or 5 different ideas that she decided to just shove together into a look. And normally, like you said, I really liked what Q's done. In this instance, I don't love it. So, scores.
55.
I can't do it. I can't. I don't have anything to say about it. I just don't like it. So no score for me, I plead. Unfortunately.
I said Xunami's was my least favorite, but actually 44. And now to our top 3. First up, Nymphia Wind.
Jesus Christ.
This is so good.
He ain't even performing, and this is what we.
This is so.
We saw this. Do y'all remember?
Mm-hmm.
We saw this.
I picked it.
I was gonna say, David, you picked it in the Instagram review that we did. I love it.
And it looks so good on the stage. I really like that headpiece. I know it's so easy to just look at the face and the paint there, but this headpiece is so intricate. Like one of the most intricate headpieces I can think of seeing on Drag Race. Like you might say that her actual outfit is a little bit simple and sure, but it didn't really need to be too extravagant. Like it just feels authentic. And the colors are perfection. Man, this is absolutely one of the best looks of the season. It's incredible.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I've seen this look before, but I loved it even then. And I love it seeing it on the stage and with these under these lights. And she just, man. Ugh.
Bitch. Huh? And this isn't her finale look? God, what the hell is this woman about to wear for the finale? Like, y'all already know my score, but go ahead and give yours.
99.
Duh. 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 I'm going to say it again for Lana. Duh. Thank you. Planejane.
So I will say there was a few days ago, it was going around on Twitter, the looks from the final 3. And I was like, okay, 2 of them look incredible. And then there's Plain Jane. I actually think it looked better watching it on the show. And you could tell she was having a lot of fun with this look. She was constantly trying to make those eyes move around throughout. You reminded me of Alexis Mugler right there, Lana. Yep. If you know, you know. But yeah, I definitely thought it looked better on the show than in the pictures we saw. So I do think I like this more than most of the performance looks. And it was dumb and it was well done. So I thought you did good.
I actually liked it. I wasn't all that upset at it. I agree with you. Having seen it in the preview and seeing it on like photos that we saw, I was a little concerned about it. Seeing it in person, I think it's actually like a pretty well executed look. I love the way that all the googly eyes come off in the like sort of like feathery effect. The choker situation with the googly eyes I thought was cute. The glasses are cute. The bodysuit is cute. She did it in a very well executed way to the point where it was simultaneously too much and also like I wasn't mad at it. Like this could have been tacky. I think she did it in a very classy way, about as classy as you can have googly eyes all over your garment.
I didn't see the preview, so I didn't see any pictures or anything, so I didn't know what to expect, and I loved it. When she came out, I was like, you're so dumb. Like, you're so stupid. Because the first thing I saw was the glasses, and I was like, girl. And then I looked down, I was like, girl, they all over. They all over. You're so stupid, but in the best stupid way. And I love how Drag Zone got all the different angles of looks from her.
This is drag looks. This is not drag. I had to pull from two different sites because not everybody had everything I needed. So thank you, drag looks.
Thanks, drag looks. But I love how they did that because it was so much to look at in this outfit. And I felt like I needed to see all the different angles of it. And it's so good. Like the attention to detail for me is amazing. Like she got all the eyes, the black bodysuit, which is perfectly fit for her. And then her hair with the black and white streaks going up the hair. And then tied into a bow. Like, wait,
so good.
You're dumb. Like, it's so stupid. And then her white face with the black lipstick, everything. And then the rosy cheeks, everything about this was, she just looked good. She ate this one up, and this ain't even her finale. Like, this is just a good, I'm going to sit back and watch some lip syncs happen look. And it was cute.
She can't wait to see how this turns out. I
right.
love
And just shaking the eye. And then the purse too, dumb in the best way possible.
Those eyes are everything, everywhere, all at once.
All at once.
They sure are.
They really are. They really, and they're everything I thought it was. It is everything I thought it was.
81.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I agree. It's full.
It's full. It's so good. It's so
well executed, honestly.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep it up here because
baby, 100%. Because
just keeping it up here.
Sapphira Cristal giving us one of the best looks of the season on the Lipsync Lalaparuza episode.
Yeah, she immediately pointed out that it's a reference to the Kentucky Derby, and as somebody from the Kentucky, I definitely appreciated that. And I love, like, Kentucky Derby looks are already kind of drag, but then she took it and she's like, I'm gonna take drag and multiply it by drag, and then by one more drag into the third power.
To the power of drag.
Yes.
And then divide it by drag and add more drag.
Exactly. So I thought she looked stunning. And look, she's still doing blue. It's a little bit more aquamarine blue.
More like a mint green.
Yeah,
I saw it as mint green.
Okay, see, it's like in between blue and green.
It's like a teal, like a light teal, which is simultaneously green and blue. So you know,
yeah, and the wig looked great. Just everything, like perfection.
I was like, she is a walking mint julep. Like, you came to the Kentucky Derby as a walking mint julep, which is what you do when you go to the Kentucky Derby. You better get you a mint julep, and you better look amazing, and you better have your hat. And she said, I'm going to put on 8 hats, and then I'm going to multiply that with 8 more hats, and I'm going to add them all together to make one big giant hat. It was the best thing ever. I loved it. Stop.
She did what needed to be done.
Thank you, Lana. 98.
The
Mugther.
Period. Cheers to you. Ugh.
God. Well, now that we spent an hour and 5 minutes talking about just the looks from this episode, it is time to talk about the Lipsync Lalaparuza Smackdown. I have here our format in visual form. And if you're only listening to the audio, I will also be talking about it in an audio format, so don't worry. We have 5 lip syncs in the first round, consisting of 2 head-to-head matchups and a 3-person lip sync. Moving then into round 2, where the winners of the head-to-head face-offs will go head-to-head. The winner of the 3-person lip sync automatically advances to the semifinals, where someone was chosen out of the hopper. They got to pick their opponent, and the other person automatically advanced to the final lip sync for the crown of She Done, Already Done, Had Hers Is, and a prize of $50,000.
$50,000.
I love this format. Like, absolutely. This is. I think there's a couple things they could do with the actual formatting of the lip sync, the bracket. Overall, though, this is a perfect format for me.
I have one issue. So I think they need to do something about the song selection because I think what happened here is in the first round, we saw the songs that everybody wanted getting snatched up. So by the time we got to the end, it was kind of like we were getting stuck with the leftover songs. And people still did well with those, but I would have liked to see more of a variety there. So I think if they just allowed like the first 5 people that are picking to pick between 5 songs, and then you had the next 3 songs like be their own separate grouping, so that you don't risk losing momentum with quality of the songs. So
counter that. What happens if you just end up getting stuck with 2 songs? Like if you get stuck with a song in the first round, you get stuck with a song in the second round. I agree with you on that. I would love if there was an additional song, because I agree with you on that. I think in the first round, it should be 6 you can choose from. And in the second round, it should be 4. Or the second and third round, it should be 4.
Yeah.
Because then at least the people that are kind of the fickle finger of fate, whoever's left with that, at least has a choice.
True.
It may be a choice between 2 songs, but it's still a choice.
I don't know that they would love having to like pay for the rights of a song that isn't being used, and maybe insulting the audience or the artist that it didn't get selected.
There's also about probably 5 to 10 songs that they do have rights to in this season that they didn't use, because they always have extra songs on the playlists that they have.
The playlist?
Yeah,
so that they get.
Yeah, so the queens are given a full thing before the season. There's always extra songs. So that's why I'm like, knowing that there's always extra songs, why not include those? Or the one song that doesn't get picked in the first round, roll it over in the second. I don't know. Something along those lines.
Anyway.
We have the songs. Here are the songs. I love this screenshot of RuPaul also. Just in the middle of linking. But so we have Bruno. I love seeing Bruno. It's like, hi, Bruno. He is pulling the balls out of the hopper to decide who is choosing their opponents in the first round. And our first lip sync matchup is Dawn versus her choice, which was a mandatory meeting, lip syncing to I'm so happy that we finally got Damaged. I have been waiting for Damaged.
That is one of my favorite dedicating songs. I'm just like, oh, give me that. Do you have a birthday?
I'm gagged it hadn't been used on Drag Race until season 16.
Oh.
I have a theory.
I think well, no, at this point, no. Go ahead.
I think when Dawn saw that her name got picked first, I think she picked her bestie Amanda to make sure that Amanda made it to the second round at least. Well, that's my theory. I don't know. I don't think Dawn even said on Twitter prior to this episode, like, I'm so excited to be back, but let's be honest, y'all. It's a lip sync Lalaparuza. Do y'all think I'm going to do good in this? So I honestly think she picked Amanda, so that way Amanda had at least 2 lip syncs to show off what she can do. And that's a good friend. That's a good friend. So
Yeah, I think you could be right for sure, or it could be that she knew what Amanda was going to pick, and it was one of her top choices.
Right.
Um, Either way, I will say I think Dawn actually did pretty well in this. I was surprised.
I
Like
did
this
too.
was so much better than her previous lip sync. So I thought it was kind of close. I thought Amanda did really well. It seemed to be like Amanda did all the tricks and had all the energy, and Dawn had more of the face and the emotion behind it. So it was almost coming down to what do you prefer in that? And for
Absolutely.
me, I did prefer Amanda personally.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Dawn was given more emotion of the song. You know, look at me, I'm giving you the face. And Amanda was like, look at me, I'm giving you the performance. And I think in that state, I would agree with the outcome of Amanda.
She wanted her girl group moment, and I'm not mad about that at all for Amanda. I do agree. I think Dawn did remarkably well in this. I wasn't mad at it. But Amanda just danced circles around her. This was one of the lip syncs where I was like, there is no doubt in my mind that the winner of this for me was Amanda. And I, for this recording and this recording only, will be referring to her as Manda Tori Mide because of the alliterative effects that ended up occurring in this episode, which I think is just the wildest potential outcome. So we go to round 2, where Q gets selected out of the hopper. Q picks Megami, and they're lip syncing to What About by Janet Jackson. I love it.
So, well, first of all, I was like, Q, pick Megami. If you're smart, pick Megami. And then as soon as Megami picked the song, I was like, oh, I know exactly how she's going to lip sync this. It's going to be. And when the lip sync started, it was.
Are you talking about Q or Megami?
Megami definitely started out that way. And I'm like, okay, doing.
But yeah, she did. She started out that way, and because that's what the song called for. True. It was like, da, 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 da. I was like, yeah, I love this song. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I have to say, I think this, unfortunately for me, who was rooting for Q, I think this was one of the bigger blowouts of the night.
Well, once that beat dropped, it was over.
Yeah, I was like, dang it. Megami, why are you doing so well? I'm mad at you.
Come on, because she's a good performer, David. Because she's a good performer. That's the thing. Megami's a good performer. That's why she did well.
Yeah, I know. And I think I underestimated her because like I wasn't here when you all talked about her lip sync against Mhi'ya when they did Flowers, but I was like, wow, she just misunderstood what Flowers is about. And it really felt like she knew what every song she did in this episode was about. So I have to give her props. She did very well in this lip sync.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think her one shot on the show, she just really missed what the song was saying, and she was putting emotion that wasn't in the song. Like, baby, Miley was like, baby, I can buy myself flowers. I don't need no.
That's an anthem, not a sad song.
Right, it wasn't a sad song. And Megami was like, I can buy myself flowers. It's like, girl, no, baby, this is a I don't need no man type of song, girl. This is a woman's anthem. Stop crying. We don't cry in the anthem. But in this one, I was with you, David. I was like, oh, here she go. She giving us the emotion. But even though I was like, but the song is calling for that. This song calls us for that first part to be very da, 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 but once that beat dropped, I was like, ooh, it's over for Q. It was almost instant how over it was for Q once the beat dropped. Because once Megami did that kick and she said, what about all the I was like, oh, somebody been watching Janet, because she was in that moment. And I was like, work Megami, you eating it. And she left not a single crumb on her plate. She licked the plate and threw the plate down and smashed it in smithereens. There was nothing left. And Q was standing there like, oh, I thought I could beat her. Girl, no.
As the resident Megami defender of this podcast, as I have been the entire season, I'm very glad that you all finally got the opportunity to see how good of a performer she is, because I've been saying it from the start. And that's not shade towards you, Lana. That's shade towards David.
I was about to say, because first of all,
that is shade towards David Healy and every other person that has been on this season.
Okay, I'm just going off of what she's shown us on the show. She did it for a talent show. It was underwhelming. And then she did her lip sync against Mhi'ya, which was like a misunderstanding of the song.
And then you also, and I agree with the misunderstanding. We also have to recognize she was part of the winning girl group and had, in my opinion, the best performance of the 4 queens in that winning girl group.
That is true. That is
so. And even then,
say that when Mhi'ya was right there.
I mean, Mhi'ya was good, but I feel like Megami was right there with her.
Megami had the best verse, and Megami had one of the 2 best performances of
ever. And I will say she did have the best verse.
She also wrote most of the verses for everybody in her group, so no wonder. But
look,
I was very happy to see everyone get to the level that I have been feeling about Megami all season. That's what I'll say.
Okay, and I will say, I am very proudly eating my words.
Yes.
I don't need anybody else to help spoon feed me them.
I sure will.
Eating them myself.
No, David, take some more.
Please, David, by all means.
I have 2 other things really quickly. So there was a part like in the middle of this where it cut to Plasma, and Plasma's like, "What the hell is happening?" And I love that. That's probably my favorite Plasma moment of the whole season. But also, I wanted to point out Megami talked about her decisions or like her ideas between every song. And she said that she picked this song specifically because she knew that Q had a boob reveal. And she's like, she's not going to do that in this song and this subject matter. She knows better. So I thought that was really smart of Megami.
I also do love now that all 4 of the, or I think 3 or 4 of the lip syncs Q has lost this season, all of them have been to Black women artists.
I was about to say, Megami's not a Black woman, but I
know. But Q, every lip sync Q has lost has been to a Black woman singing. Because it was Beyonce, it was Tina Turner, and now Janet Jackson.
I
feel like I'm missing one. I was gonna because she lip synced 4 times, and the one time she won was to Iconopop.
Oh, she sent home Amanda.
That was to Iconopop.
Yeah.
That was the one lip sync of the 4 she did this season that she won.
Wow.
So I just find that very, very funny. Given
especially with the stuff that's been happening afterwards and all this.
We don't have time to dive into that today. What we do have time to dive into is our round 3 matchup. Morphine is pulled out of the hopper. Geneva is her choice. And they lip sync to $1 Million Baby by Ava Max. Geneva really loves her Ava Max lip syncs, I guess.
I thought this was actually really good. I thought they both did really well in this lip sync. I do agree that Geneva jumped right into the reveal. It was like, girl, take a minute.
Way too early.
Wait, take a minute.
Who was it that said it backstage?
Dawn.
Dawn, yeah.
It was like, oh, it's too quick.
Too early.
No, Sapphira. It was Sapphira.
It was Dawn. I think it was Dawn and Sapphira was like, oh, too early.
They were like, oh, that's too early. And they were like, yeah. But it was just, I think Morphine took the time and gave us the reveal at the moment of the pop. And I feel like Geneva was like, I'm hot. Let me get out this jacket right now.
Hey, I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all.
But she got out that jacket real quick. But I don't think it was I think they were going really well together. I think Geneva gave us what I thought Geneva would give us. We saw her 3 times, and she gave me exactly what I thought she was going to give me. She was going to kick, she was going to dance, she was going to give me a little shimmy. 4 times. I'm sure.
She lip synced in every episode she was on the season.
That is true.
Including the girl group.
And including the girl group and this one.
Yep, absolutely. So every time we saw her, she gave us what we got. We got the kick, we got the spin, we got the Geneva giving us face. Yeah. And she gave us that. And it wasn't bad. And like I said, I don't think Geneva's a bad lip syncer. No. She's just, when she's against people like a Morphine or a Mhi'ya or you know,
who sent her home. Yeah.
It's just like, girl, it looks a little generic compared to theirs. So I don't know if either you just go stay in that lane of generic lip sync, or if you go step it up a little bit. But it's not bad. I would see her at a local show. I'd be like, oh, she giving it. She working it. Here.
I'd tip her big money if I saw this in person.
Take it. But
yeah,
but then like if somebody else came behind her and did the same song and like, I'm like, oop.
If Morphine was doing her 8 count while yawning and looking at her nails,
right.
then that's what sold it for me. I agree. I think Geneva did a phenomenal job in this lip sync. Unfortunately for her, she was up against Morphine Love Dion, who just kind of outperformed her.
Yeah. I think part of the problem for Geneva was that she started at a pretty high level and she kept that same level. So there weren't really shades there. And she was doing like moves that I'm like, okay, that's what established bar queens, like their go-to moves. You're doing all of those. You're hitting all the notes. And I'm like, but we've seen you do those before. Like the whole like spinning kick thing. And I like that she was doing her little thing. And then Morphine was just kind of standing back. And then she looked at her. She was like, gave her little props in almost a little condescending way before Morphine was ready to go for it herself. And then when
was so shady this whole episode, I loved it.
She was. But then Morphine, when she started getting into it, I think she actually went a little too hard, because the part that bothered me the most was that her wig started to fall back a little bit.
Yeah.
And you could see the red wig underneath. So I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And even when she did the wig reveal, she leaned over, and I'm positive she was hoping it would like fall forward.
Yeah.
And then she would come back but it like went behind her. And so she had to grab it and then toss it. So
she's got great reflexes, as we've seen kind of twice now this season with the Mhi'ya cape situation. And then here, I just don't think she put her head far enough forward, because like you said, David, it was slipping back a little bit. That did not eliminate her win in my mind, but it was a bit sloppy. This was her sloppiest lip sync of the evening for sure.
Sloppy, yes. Least favorite, no. It was on
I only said sloppy.
Okay.
I only said sloppy.
Only sloppy, not least favorite.
Right.
But she performed that. The looking at her nails and yawning while lip syncing to this song, that killed. That was my favorite individual moment.
Oh, I like when she held up the ponytail and did the splits. I'm like, that's very Sasha Colby coded.
I thought she was going to do the full Sasha Colby hair thing. I was like,
she did the spinning of the hair later on. Too. But yeah, I thought she definitely won.
For sure. So we're left with 5 queens. We get Mirage pulled out of the hopper. Mirage picks her fellow early eliminee, Hershii Licqour-Jete. And they are lip syncing to Alone by Kim Petras and Nicki Minaj.
I have thoughts, and I'm really curious if you all are going to agree with me on here.
Okay.
I think this was my second favorite lip sync of the night.
Ooh, I think you might be right. I might agree with you on that.
Okay.
I thought this was
both of them.
I thought this was
I loved both of them in this lip sync. At first I was like, oh, that's such an interesting choice, Hershii. Like, I really thought she would have picked I thought she was going to pick Donna Summer. If I'm being honest with you, I thought she was going to pick Donna Summer. I think the Alone choice was very, very good. She clearly knew the song very, very well. I do agree. I think Mirage won this lip sync. But Hershii was right there with her the whole time. The biggest issue for me was Hershii and that wig. That wig was her inner saboteur, and she kept getting distracted by it. And I think that is what edged Mirage over Hershii for me, just by a little bit.
See, the wig didn't bother me. If I had to give like one knock on Hershii, I think it was a lot of like side profile, like while she was performing, like she would walk back and forth. And if you're going to do that, like at least give us like an angle of your face. But that was like a small nitpick. I really liked the specific style she did. She kind of leaned into the humor here, and Mirage just went for it with the tricks. And this was definitely the time where I'm like, okay, she's a very good performer. And I hated to say that because I was rooting for an upset here. I was really hoping Hershii, yes, thank you for feeding me. But I was really hoping for an upset here with Hershii winning. One thing I did really like, and this will maybe make me sound hypocritical if you watched our Drag Race Italia coverage, but I had a big issue when Sapphira went and stood in front of Lena when Lena was doing like a headstand, and we saw Mirage doing a backbend, and Hershii just went around and just stood in front of her. But the difference for me is Hershii stood in front of her for a beat and then moved on. Like she did it as a humorous thing. Like, oh, I'm going to block her. I'm going to move on.
Completely. I had that exact same reaction to it. I was like, okay, work, Hershii. Like that was cute.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm standing to block her. It was like she walked over and looked at her like, okay, and then moved on. You know, like that's the best she got. All right, I'm gonna move on. And it wasn't, and everybody, like, I think it was I forgot who said it. Like, yeah, like I was standing in front of her too. About she was doing all these back bends. Like, absolutely, because what you're supposed to do, just stand off to the side and let her do the back bend. But see, that was the difference between Italia and this one. She was doing a full handstand, so you knew she was going to take some time to get into that position and get up in the air and do it. And so you took that opportunity to block all of it. You
planted herself, did not move.
Planted there, and you stood there the entire time. And I'm like, that's a little because you didn't even like. Now we don't see the handstand. We just see legs in the air after you decide to move. It was just weird. But yeah, Hershii did it to be funny. Sapphira did it just to block her.
To be a bitch.
Yeah.
And I do want to say this. I guess this is spoiling the results, but Mirage, probably my favorite so far in the lip syncs. But I think Hershii did better than anybody else in the previous lip syncs except probably Morphine. For me.
Okay.
I would have her, I think if you're looking at all 11 of them across the board in this first round, Hershii's definitely top half for me. I think there's a couple other people that did a bit better in their lip syncs than Hershii did. But I was still so happy we got to see Hershii perform. She felt confident here. And that's what I liked to see. And I was so happy to get another opportunity to see Hershii perform because she's an incredible performer. Period, point blank. But Mirage does win this lip sync. I agreed with it. I think it could have gone either way. But obviously there was an alliterative moment that was happening. So obviously they had to let Mirage win, of course. But that does leave our last three queens, which are Mhi'ya, Xunami, and Plasma. And this was really where I was like, okay, whoever gets pulled out of the hopper, they're going to have the advantage. Because I think each of the three of them would have picked a different song. For sure. Because for me, I don't know this for sure. Mhi'ya obviously picks Milkshake by Khalees, another song I'm very happy we finally got on Drag Race. I honestly think Plasma picks Shoop Shoop. And I think Xunami picks Donna Summer. Or the Go-Go's. I think that might have been up in the air. I don't know that for sure. I don't know if they've said anything on socials about it. But as soon as Mhi'ya's name got pulled, I was like, okay, so Mhi'ya's picking Milkshake and Mhi'ya's going to win. And it was, I have to say, I think this might have been my favorite lip sync of the night. I really, really loved this lip sync. Not, unfortunately, because of Xunami, because she fades very, very quickly.
I don't even remember anything Xunami did in that lip sync.
Let's call it what this is. This is Mhi'ya
This is Mhi'ya on LePaige versus Plasma. Rematch round 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Featuring
Raggedy Ann, Xunami Muse.
Calling other people Raggedy Ann.
Raggedy Ann.
It's just like, oh, child.
Here's what I have to say about this lip sync. I watched it twice, and this was the one I wanted to watch specifically because I ended up having different feelings after watching it both times. first time I watched it, I was like, oh, Plasma won this. I really was like, I think Plasma did the best. She should have won. Again, there was an alliterative moment happening, so Mhi'ya was going to win. No, I'm kidding. That's not real. I went back and rewatched it. I think it was much closer than I remembered it being in my mind. But ultimately, I do think it could have gone either way. But I do agree with the Mhi'ya win here. But I think Plasma for me, of the girls that lost their lip syncs in round 1, was the best for me. Hands down.
I kind of had an opposite take because when I watched this, I was rooting so hard for Mhi'ya. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, for me, Mhi'ya won, but it was too close for comfort. And I've actually watched this 4 times now because I watched it once last night and then I rewatched looking at each individual person. And I think it's extremely close between Mhi'ya and Plasma. I honestly would give it to Plasma by a hair. And part of it may be based on expectations. Like Plasma was never a favorite of mine this season. And I had zero expectations for her based on her previous lip sync. But with Mhi'ya, and this is not her fault, but we've seen her lip sync a lot. So we've seen her do everything she did in this lip sync. And I honestly think she did not do her moves as well this time. And a lot of the time she spent it in the back. And I get it, like she did her like flip upside down against the wall in the very back, but that makes it kind of lose its luster when you have other people in the foreground demanding your attention. And Plasma just like, I could not believe how well she pulled some of the moves out. It felt like she must have felt defeated after this lip sync, went home for however many months and just really worked on her lip sync skills. So I think I would have slightly given it to Plasma.
I understand what you're both coming from because after watching, I was like, oh, this is very close. This is closer than I thought it was going to be. Because at first I was like, oh, Mhi'ya's just gonna run away with this one. But I think with expectations, how it was coming into this and what we saw of Plasma, I was like, not that impressed by Plasma's performing on a lip sync because of what we saw. Like I don't know any other outside images of Plasma and how well she performs outside. I just go strictly by what I saw on the show, and I was like, her lip sync wasn't that great. I don't know what to expect from her. I don't think she has, but she did. She came in and she surprised me, and I was like, and I think that's why it felt as close as it felt because it was like we didn't have expectations for Plasma and she rose above that. We had expectations of Mhi'ya and she came below that. So they just met each other in the middle. And I kind of feel like Mhi'ya did what she does, but just not at the same level as what we were used to seeing.
Yes.
And I don't know if she was tired or if she was just...
She thought she could very
easily get by.
That's what I thought, because I had that same reaction, Lana. I thought Mhi'ya was at like 70% energy. I thought Plasma was at like 110.
Yeah.
I also think it might have been a mistake to choose. I mean, obviously she moved through, but picking a song that feels so obvious in your wheelhouse doesn't always work the best, because I think subverting expectations is a good thing. So if she could have picked a different song that maybe people wouldn't expect her to kill and just really nail it, then I think people probably wouldn't have had, because people do have issues. I don't have an issue with Mhi'ya moving on at all. Some people do online, get over it. Also, I do want to say, I think Plasma has an incredible sense of musicality. Like there's like a little ding in the song, like probably every 8 bars. And it's something I never really picked up on, but every time the ding happened, Plasma had a different like move to emphasize the ding.
I loved it.
And it was so clever and creative. She just
it's like the Broadway really in her. It's the Broadway in her. It's the theater in her, and she's very theatrical. And when especially if you're being taught in musicals like she is, you have to listen to every little thing, because on Broadway they have those little ding moments where you just have to do something. Da 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 da. So So she's so used to hearing those little things. And I said that about her, even in her lip sync against Mhi'ya. Musicality on point with Plasma. She's very good musicality. She just couldn't keep up with that song at that time.
She just got a horrible draw, a horrible song, and a horrible lip sync opponent because Mhi'ya swept the floor with her.
It was just like, she looked like she was desperate. I don't know what to do. But we saw it when she did her Barbara performance. She has great musicality.
And even in the talent show. Girl group too. I was going to say her talent show as well, which I loved her talent show.
Yeah.
I really remember it.
Where she did all the impressions and she did like the musical theater thing. It wasn't like one of the best, but you could see
what she can do.
You also have to remember she's like my age. Like she's got a lot of drag to continue to do. And that's what I felt about a lot of the girls in all of this is like you could tell the girls that had only been doing drag for a few years at this point, and you could really tell some of the girls that have been doing drag for a long time. And I'm gonna pin that comment and bring it up again in a lip sync we'll see here shortly, because that's what gave it the edge over someone else for me personally. But I wouldn't have been mad about Plasma or Mhi'ya winning personally, because they had two of my favorite performances in this lip sync of the night.
Absolutely.
I loved seeing Xunami's feature here, and I liked seeing Xunami period, just because I like Xunami as a drag queen, but it wasn't her.
Yep.
Her journey on this show was safe, and that's it.
It was my least favorite of any of the lip syncs.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hands down. But Mhi'ya does win this lip sync, which means everyone whose name starts with an M and Amanda moved on to past the first round, which I think is.
That's why we call her Amanda.
Yep.
Yes, that's why I'm calling her
meeting.
Amanda meeting today.
But then we can't say that for Muse.
No. Well, it's in her last name. So at least Amanda, it's the second letter of her name. So we'll give her, I can eliminate that. It's not a mandatory meeting today. Today it's just mandatory meeting. And speaking of, in round 2, obviously Mhi'ya, because she won the 3-person lip sync, she automatically moves on to round 3, which I think is a very nice way to go about this.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at. She already eliminated 2 girls.
Right.
So, and a 3-person lip sync is a lot more difficult to do and win than a head-to-head lip sync. So I loved that part of the formatting. We get Amanda pulled out of the hopper. Amanda picks Megami, and Megami picks the Shoop Shoop song by Cher. Now, I would have loved to see Mhi'ya lip sync to this, honestly. I just think it would have been a lovely full circle moment for her. That was the one I was fearing. I was like, Megami, please pick Shoop Shoop. I don't want this. Well, and I know Mirage probably wouldn't have picked. If Mirage had the option, she wouldn't have picked Cher.
But it would have been great. Like the Valentina doing Ariana again.
Well, would she have gotten the redemption? I don't know.
Oh, my cat turned on the floor cleaner.
Lovely.
I have thoughts. I'll be right back.
Great. I would love to give my thoughts, because I thought this was a very good lip sync. I think they both did a very, very good job. For me, though, it was hands down Megami. And what I liked about this song selection, I know that we had some critique about the song selection overall. For me, what I loved the most about the overall song selection for this Lalaparuza is there was a lot of variety. And so it gave an opportunity for the girls that maybe aren't the dancing, flipping stunt queens. It gave them the opportunity to have songs that they can really work with. And I think that's ultimately what propelled Megami to the end of this Lalaparuza, and why I was so happy to see someone who is not a stunt queen. She doesn't have the flips and the splits and all of that kind of stuff, but she's a damn good lip syncer, because she knows what she can do, and she knows her body well enough and her performance style well enough to adapt to the song that she's given. I loved her performance here, and I thought Amanda did lovely as well.
I did too. I didn't mind this song choice. This is one of my favorite Cher songs. I'm gonna be honest. I really do like this song from Cher.
Mermaids.
It was one of my favorite songs from Cher that I know this song backwards and forwards. Like, there's no in between with me. I love this song. And so I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Well, what I love the most about this performance, I think Amanda was trying to give us a performance of, I'm just going to sing, I'm going to lip sync, and I'm going to do some things. Megami was giving us an experience. Megami was like, I'm going to give you Cher on top of drag Cher, on top of comedy drag Cher, like on
top of Megami,
punchy drag Cher with Megami in it. It was just good. It was funny. Like, she just did stuff that I think I screamed laughing the most during this performance. When she, like, what do you do during the part where there's no singing? She gave us what she did, and I was like, you're so stupid.
This format, I have to say as well, and we've seen it now 3 seasons, so I feel comfortable enough saying this. This format really plays into what New York City queens do very well, because these kinds of things are done very regularly in New York bars. And I've heard a lot of the New York girls talk about this, where there are clubs that do drag roulette, where you get up there, you get a song choice and you just have to perform to it. And I think that sort of experience, I don't know what kind of experience any of these New York girls really have with that. It feels for me like maybe Megami and Plasma have a bit more experience with that than some of the other New York girls, just because it feels like they know what to do and they know how to adapt themselves to any song that they're given. And I think that ultimately was also part of why Megami had a bit of an edge over Amanda in this.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you all remember my list of people that I was rooting for going into this episode.
Oh, yes.
But there's a little bit of a pattern here. Because I was like, Q, finish Megami. Okay, and now we're in round 2. Amanda, finish Megami. That's the mode I was in at the beginning of this lip sync. It did not take long for me to realize, oh, no, that's not happening. I really did. I liked how Megami tried to really channel and almost become possessed by Cher. I thought that was absolutely the right way to go. I think the moment, if she hadn't already won, but her making out with her hand, the moment she spit on her hand.
that wasn't making out, David Healy.
But it's in his kiss. That was supposed to be making out, I thought.
No.
She went a little bit further than just making out.
She was sticking her tongue in it.
But there wasn't. She was sticking her tongue in something else, David Healy.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Her hand was not a mouth.
And she was
Well, I think all three of us are on different pages, because I think Lana's thinking a penis.
No.
Oh, no. You were thinking about
Lana and I are on the same page because we understand what was going on here in this lip.
I thought that her hand was not her hand.
This is the girl on this season with an alt Twitter, David. Of course, that's what she.
I didn't know that. But
would you spit on someone's mouth when you kiss them?
I have definitely seen people spit in somebody's mouth when they're making.
Yeah,
you've never seen somebody do that, Logan?
I've done that before. The point is, it is a more applicable circumstance. But it's a more applicable circumstance when you're dealing with a booty hole.
But knowing the song it's in his kiss.
Yes,
that's not his kiss.
A booty hole.
That's in her kiss then. And here's where I think Amanda went wrong. Because Amanda was performing well, but I noticed it a little bit in her first performance, but I really noticed it in this performance. I feel like when Amanda performs, sometimes she performs as if she's in a big bar and not on TV. Because she goes so over the top with her face sometimes, especially her eyes. She does these big, crazy eyes. Like, you don't need to do that for TV.
And
like, I get it in a stadium.
And that's how you can tell that Amanda hasn't been doing drag as long as Megami has.
That's fair.
Not the instance that I put a pin in earlier, but still very applicable to this scenario as well. Because you can tell Megami's been doing drag long enough to understand her performance style and adapting it. I've said it 3 times. I don't need to say it again. Megami won this lip sync. Absolutely, hands down, 100%. For me. But I love Amanda, and I thought she did phenomenal in her 2 lip syncs, and I was just so happy. I'm happy she got a redemption as well for her performance ability. So we move to the fickle finger of fate, leaving us with Morphine and Mirage. Morphine is the one that ends up getting her ball drawn out of the hopper. And so she gets to lip sync to This Time I Know It's Real by Donna Summer.
This was an interesting one. And I kind of alluded to this earlier when like we talked about Morphine, maybe what was her messiest one wasn't necessarily her worst one. For me, this was the worst of her lip syncs. And it really came down to this song, I think. And it's not a bad song. I just don't think it made for the most exciting lip sync song. In fact, this was probably my least favorite lip sync of the night. And it's not because they didn't do well. They did as well as they could. And they both performed well. But it was like stuff we've seen before. So I was not very inspired by either person in this lip sync. But I do think Morphine pulled it out. I don't know. It was the most forgettable of the lip syncs. It didn't have any moments for me.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't that impressed with either of them in this performance. I thought they did as well as they could with the song that they were given. The song is a great song. I just don't think it's the song for a lip sync song that's going to make it for exciting lip sync song. So it was fine. They did what they could do with it. I kind of agree with you that it was no memorable moments that I was like.
Just one. The double back bend.
Oh, that was cute.
That
was cute. I mean, and I don't know if they didn't even do that intentionally. It was just like
no, it just thought about
just happened to be that part of that lip sync for them. But it was good. It was fine. It was just all right.
This was the song I questioned the most when I saw the lineup because I love this song and I love Donna Summer. This song, though, not the best for a lip sync for your life. I agree. I think they both did the best that they possibly could with what they were given. I'm going to take that pin out of my comment from earlier. And this is where I could tell that Morphine has been doing drag a bit longer than Mirage. Because I thought Mirage gave a very good performance. But Mirage lip synced to this song the way that Mirage would lip sync to any song. And Morphine lip synced to this song the way that the song should be lip synced to. And that's what gave her the edge for me over Mirage. I believed this way more out of Morphine than I did out of Mirage. Neither of them did bad. I agree. This was kind of the most, this was the perfectly inoffensive lip sync of the evening because they both did good and they did what they could with this song. But I thought Morphine definitely had the edge over Mirage for me, unfortunately. But let's move to we have our final 3, Megami, Morphine, Mhi'ya. Megami gets selected out of the hopper, and she decides she's going to lip sync against Mhi'ya, Iman, LePaige. She's going to get her rematch that she wanted, which means Morphine automatically moves to the final round. Good for Morphine. And Megami and Mhi'ya are left with We Got the Beats by the Go-Go's.
This is round 3 of Please Finish Megami.
No.
Because I love Mhi'ya. I'm rooting for her. This is another one I wanted to point out that Megami mentioned on Twitter. She picked Mhi'ya because she knew specifically Mhi'ya was dreading doing this song. So that was very smart for her to do this. And honestly, she just immediately had the right energy for this song. Mhi'ya was doing the great tricks and everything. It still felt a little too familiar for me. And I think Megami was able to switch it up. And I was not able to appreciate it as much in the moment because I didn't catch why she was doing that. But when she does the thing with the splits on her hand, I'm like, why did she do that? I didn't realize she was like, oh, this is what this girl's
predicted what Mhi'ya was about to do.
That is so smart and so shady. So shady.
Incredible. One of my favorite moments of the night, hands down. And that for me, because I thought Mhi'ya was doing a good job in this lip sync, all things considered. She was doing the best she could. This song was very, very geared towards what Mhi'ya was doing. And that's also, I believe, why Morphine picked the Donna Summer song in the previous round, because she knew there was the potential that Mhi'ya would be left with this song. So I think it was double strategy on both Morphine and Megami's parts to get them to the final round. And it worked, because Megami, who would have thought? On paper, who would have thought that this is the scenario we would have ended up in? I was hopeful. And I love Mhi'ya dearly. And I love her. I think she's a phenomenal lip syncer. I think she now has a part of the record for the most lip syncs in one season. Her and Morphine, I think, do, which I think is very fun. Megami ate down. And the part where she predicted the split, loved it.
Yep, looks good. I don't have much to say.
Well, Megami wins, gagging everyone involved, including Mhi'ya. Deserved, in my mind. Deserved.
Sure.
So we end up, the final round of the Lip Sync Lalaparuza is Morphine versus Megami to Gonna Make You Sweat. Everybody dance now. Bah, 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 bah. By CNC Music Factory. A wild choice.
The way I was mad at this lip sync.
Why were you
and
mad?
Here's why I was mad. You take this song, you have this song, and you have an iconic moment with this song, and nobody chose to do it. Nobody chose to Aunt Viv this in this moment. Nobody gave us the pop, 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 pop. Like, just give me that part. Just for that part, I would have been like, oh, you have
Megami was the closest. Megami was like in the same universe, but they're both too young.
They did not give me an Aunt Viv. Like, give me an Aunt Viv moment when you have such an iconic moment to that song. Now, if somebody says something about they don't know what Aunt Viv moment is, I'm really stopped talking to.
I understand.
I'm about to say, because I can't talk to you if you don't know what Aunt Viv moment I'm talking about.
I mean, I know Aunt Viv. I don't know her moment with this song. And I'm not going to pretend like I do.
I can't talk to you about this. You need to go watch The Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
And really, all you have to do is Google Aunt Viv and CNC Music Factory moment. That's all you got to do is see it. And
I was a Nick at Night kid, so I grew up watching Fresh Prince. So I know it.
All I wanted was that pop, 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 pop. Well, swing on the floor and put the legs up. Like, that's all I wanted. Give me that swing, pop, pop. Like,
I think Mhi'ya would have done that. If I'm being honest with you, I think we would have got. I think we would have gotten it from Mhi'ya.
Absolutely would have got it. But also, what I am upset about, Miss Morphine, I had some words for you back in your lip sync against Dawn, where you were doing body, yaddy, yaddy, and you was twerking it. And I kept saying, all we need is to make them cheeks clap. If you go do the body, yaddy, you got to make the cheeks clap. And you didn't. But you choose to wait to get to CNC Music Factory to finally let us see the cheeks actually can clap. So you mean to tell me your cheeks can clap, but you chose not to make it clap, which further proves my point that I was saying before, that you were like, maybe she can't do it. David, you came at me and was like, well, maybe she can't do it. Everybody can't do it. Maybe she can't. She can.
I thought you were talking about twerking. She didn't twerk.
No, I said specifically make the cheeks clap. Because if you go do Megan Thee Stallion, you got to make the cheeks clap. If you down there doing it with the knees, the cheeks got to go pop, 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 pop. That just need to happen. I specifically said that. You were like, well, maybe she can't do that.
I'll have to go back and watch the tapes. But I thought you were talking
Please go back and watch the tapes, because I'm 100,000 and 2,000% sure I said make the cheeks clap, because I said it over and over. And you were like, well,
believe the line was cheeks clapping. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you were like, well, maybe she can't do that to everybody. And I was like, well, she should go to the stripper and go see Candy and Lashika and or somebody at the strip clubs down in Miami to show her how to make the cheese claps. she get to CNC Music Factory, and she showed her she can make her cheeks clap, and
maybe she learned that over the alleged few months she had between filming the season and filming this.
Maybe.
And she chose to do the body choreography. We've been over it though.
I'm just saying the body choreography is making the cheeks clap. It's not just
the topic of this lip sync specifically.
I'm not with you, Morphine, because you could have did that, but you did that in this one. But in this lip sync, still, I don't think she won. I don't think she won it.
I don't think she did either.
Okay, well,
I thought they both did a good job. Yeah. I think they both did very well.
Yeah.
For me, I think Megami outperformed her just by like a little bit, because I think Megami understood the song a little bit more. And this is a wild lip sync song choice. I don't necessarily love this as a lip sync song choice. I think Morphine did a good job, and I think Morphine deserves the overall win as far as lip syncing is concerned on the season. But when it comes to this lip sync, inch.
Very much inch.
Okay, well, this was round 4 of Please Take Out Megami for me, because once again, it was Morphine, one of the people I was rooting for going into this episode. And for me, immediately when Megami like leaned into the dumb humor with the hand puppet thing,
I loved it.
I was laughing out loud, and I had this face like, I cannot believe how annoyed I am with how much I'm liking this. And then I got annoyed with Mhi'ya, because Mhi'ya was like, she's using her hand, she doesn't know the words. And I'm like, come on.
Did you expect
girl.
Mhi'ya to understand a reference that was funny?
Oh.
No shade, but all shade.
Not really shade, because honestly, that is the perfect way, if I don't know the words, to act like I'm just doing dumb humor and say, I'm going to do a hand puppet.
Her hand matched up perfectly with all the words.
It matched up with the beat. It's not the words. You can't
it match up. The words are not just a continuous
jump to the rhythm, jump to the rhythm, jump. It
wasn't just that. It was a long time. It's a whole male verse.
I know
she matched up with every bit of it.
I know the lyrics to the song, Sweat. But jump to the rhythm, jump to the rhythm, jump. You can't
just fake
that.
You have to know how it works.
Rhythm, jump to the rhythm, jump. All you have to know is the beat.
And even she started jumping. She started jumping when it came to the lyrics. It showed that she knew what the lyrics were. I'm just saying you're defending Mhi'ya when you probably shouldn't.
No, I'm saying it's the perfect way, if you don't know the words, to do something like that, to cover up that you don't know the words. I'm not saying Megami didn't know the words. I'm just saying to say that Mhi'ya is silly for saying that is kind of not fair either, because
it could be a good way, but watching her, there is 0% that she didn't know the words. 0%.
I think she knew the words. I'm just saying, if I didn't know the words, doing a hand puppet is the
great idea.
It also makes sense because it's a male part of the song, and she wanted to lip sync to the female.
Absolutely, I understood.
Yeah, and I'm not that mad at it. But I actually disagree with Logan because I wanted all of the lip sync songs to be like this. Like, this was the one I was waiting for. I didn't know it was coming, but I was waiting for this. This was my favorite lip sync, hands down.
Oh, okay.
Hands down, this was my favorite lip sync. I thought both of them did extremely well. For me, I thought Megami was killing that first half, but then the second half, I thought Morphine stepped it up. She started pulling it out. She did those hair twirls. She was just like laying it all out. Yes, exactly. Wow, is this Morphine on camera here now? That's Morphine. So I was like, this is too close to call between the two of them, because one won the first half, one won the second half. But I did come to I determined who was the winner, and it was the very end. The do 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 do. Megami killed that part.
Yeah, absolutely.
She killed that part. She won.
It was, it was cute for Morphine to go. Yeah, it was cute, like pow. But Megami the whole time through was like, like she was in it, and it was so good. I was
that
like,
was the tiebreaker for me, 100%, and she ate that part.
You kind of ate with that analogy, the first half and the second half, and then that end. That kind of ate, because I do agree with you 100%. I think Megami started off so strong, and then Morphine was like, "Okay, hold on, let me show you what I got." Brought it up and was like, "We were like, oh, here she come." And then that end, it was like, I think Morphine gave us a lot more sass, and Megami gave us a lot more what the song was. Right. And I think they appreciated the sass a lot more. And I was like, I don't totally agree with that, but work, whatever y'all decide.
Also, keep in mind, Megami was the only person to perform in every single round of this Lalaparuza.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I ultimately do feel like it should have gone to Megami, personally, just based on performance quality. Again, an inch between Megami and Morphine. I would have been fine either way because I do love Morphine. And I think she's provided us a lot of phenomenal lip syncing on this season, which is why her getting the crown of Queen of She Done Already Done Had Hers is not that disappointing to me. And based on the package of lip syncing she did on this season on a whole, deserved for sure. If we're looking at this isolated moment, I think it should have been Megami.
I do too. Especially, like, honestly, this is the best single episode a person had since Silky in All Stars.
I absolutely agree with you, David.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely agree with you.
She won over so many fans, including myself.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I think Megami has an earlier All-Star spot that any of us would have thought now.
Mm.
I honestly do. I think it's going to be a full redemption story. I hope so.
I mean, look here. We all know, and we've seen, all you got to do is make Ru laugh.
Yep.
And she secured her spot in Ru's heart doing Shoop Shoop.
Yeah.
Once she did Shoop Shoop, and she did that, I was like, and Ru was dying. Like, her and Michelle Visage was killing themselves. That's the two you want to make laugh the most. And they did it. And she did it. And so I could see Ru calling Megami to come back and do something else.
Also, I do love Morphine, and I loved her lip syncing in this episode. I want to talk about when she started doing her cheek clapping, and they cut to Bruno with the biggest googly eyes, bigger than Plain Jane. I was like, Bruno wants to rail the hell out. And I would like to see it personally for Morphine's sake. I would like to see it for her. But congratulations, Morphine. Still very deserved. Very, very deserved.
Yes.
50,000 doll hairs. Go tip Megami because she didn't.
No wonder she wants to bump up the $10,000 bet.
Because she got 50 to use now. So hey.
Can I speak on that? Because I wanted to mention this earlier, but it wasn't the best time. So I've actually thought of this. Like, I think it would be so cool to have. They could make it into a whole TV series, but when you have all of these people coming to DragCon, why not have like a 64-person tournament with lip syncs?
Because there's only 2 days of DragCon.
I know, but they don't all have to, like, you only need 2 people to step out at a time and go film their portion.
So I think the reason why, honestly, because I would love that too. I don't know that I would want it to be 64.
I mean, we got that many queens there, but just let them know what songs they are specifically going to do before they get there, so they can.
I think that would be so fun. I think the reason why they don't do that is because they also give a lot of queens time on the main stage. They each get like a 5-minute performance. I think that's why they do that. So that way the queen can show off what they do best in that moment. I think that would be so fun. I do agree with you on that. I think
you shot it down very quickly.
It's a classic instance of David doesn't wait to hear my entire thought and decides to react immediately.
That's ironic. That's ironic because I didn't even get my thought out.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, neither of us listen to each other and react.
This is the best thing ever because I'm glad y'all putting each other's flows out because I'm usually doing it. I love this. Y'all continue.
I think it would be a lovely idea. I think logistically, I think it would be a nightmare. And I don't think that DragCon producers want to go through that much to do it. But I think it would be a fabulous idea to have.
That'd be fun.
It would be so much fun. Could you imagine, like, round one, we get Queen Kong versus, like, Mhi'ya, Iman, LePaige, or something like that? Like, and have
Arizona
it be
Brandy
international.
versus more kid.
Oh my God. Tessa Testicle versus Milk. I don't know. Milk is confirmed to go to DragCon. Like, Galavado versus Morphine Love Dion. Now that. Gala, Morphine, if y'all are listening, do that. Thank you. I would like to see
Beach versus
Clover Beach versus
Come on.
a mandatory meeting. Because women.
Sure.
I don't know.
Bernie.
Ooh.
Clover Beach versus Bernie.
Die and go to heaven.
Oh, I would die and go to straight heaven. Like, seriously, that is like
No, because then only
heaven?
one of them would be out. Only one of them would be allowed to win, and I wouldn't want that.
no,
You're going to straight heaven just because you're straight?
It'll be a double shot.
Straight? Wow, Lana.
Huh?
I
You
thought
said
this
you
was
would
a
die
safe
and go to
space.
straight heaven.
I've never said
gay
that at
heaven?
all.
You
I
literally
never
just
said
said
that.
you would die and
You
go to
literally
straight
said
heaven.
going to straight heaven.
I said I will die and go straight to heaven. Straight.
That's not what we heard.
Well, then y'all are stupid and your ears don't work because I would never say straight.
I'm literally
Like,
gonna go listen back to
I'll
this.
go to
the
gay
moment
heaven
this
by
episode-
myself.
I'm gonna.
Ridiculous. Like, I would think y'all not gonna do this to me. Y'all not gonna make me look like I'm the homophobe. You're not gonna do that when I did not say I'd die and go to
Hey,
straight.
guess what?
No.
That's not what we were trying to say, Lana. So
No.
maybe listen to our full thoughts before you say something.
No, that is what you said when you said I said straight heaven. Like, there's a straight heaven.
I was
and gay
joking about that, but I
no,
thought
because
you.
Logan actually thought that's what he heard.
No,
No, I really did.
that's
hear you
also
say I
what
would die
David
and go to
thought he
straight heaven.
heard.
But I thought you like mixed up straight and two.
I said I'm going to die and go straight to heaven.
People in the comments. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, I'm gonna go watch it back the moment this ends. I'm gonna go watch it back, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if I'm not,
I'm not changing what I said. I
Great.
said straight to heaven.
well, that's that. We're gonna get out of here because this lasted way longer than any of us anticipated. But we'll be back next week, same time, same place, same us, to talk all about the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race season 16. We will have a winner. Hopefully, it's anyone but Plain Jane.
If Plain Jane wins, guess who we're getting on All Stars? Guess who we're getting to see again?
But I don't want both of them on All Stars because one of them deserves the crown right now.
And they will come back and get their crowns. But yes, I agree. I don't want Plain Jane to win. She can come
Anyway.
back for a different All Stars and win.
Whatever. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know all your thoughts about the Lipsync Lalaparuza Smackdown in the comments down below. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe here, subscribe to all of our channels, and go check out our membership channel for exclusive content and early access. All those links are down in the description below. Also, while you're down in the description, you could follow us on our social media at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow the three of us on Twitter as well because we're fabulous, lovely, and wonderful individuals. And you can also go get your merch, including but not limited to Cup Mug, currently shipping only within North America. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Gay heaven.
Oh my God.
I hate you.